Hi friends, welcome to Mechanical Yours, your own channel, and today I am here with another interesting video. And today I am going to talk about my long-term experience with the Renault Kiger RXT AMT that was purchased in 2021. So you can assume that since I have spent a good amount of time with this vehicle and almost covered 26,000 odd kilometers, so I assume that this is the right point where I can share my opinions and review of this car. So I will not talk about the exterior part or the styling part because looks are something which are subjective, but yes, I will not deny from the fact that Renault has carried forward the pedigree of its design language, whether it comes to the quid or the tri. Sometimes it resembles like a bigger quid or a beefed up quid. If you have started owning this, you will easily differentiate the design element. Although that is not neglected because this vehicle is something which is derived from quid and a triber, hence it is named as Kiger. No complaints from that aspect. And now as we are standing at the front of the vehicle, let's talk about the utilities and some good feedbacks about this car. So you can see the headlamp units are placed somewhat below, as usually you find in the cars. The headlamp units are placed over here, but here we have the DRLs and indicator setup. And this especially is if we talk about the RXT variant, it comes with a halogen unit and a dual barrel setup. So we have different barrels for the high and low V. I must say that these are one of the best headlamp units available in the market, or if we talk about the competitors, their throws are phenomenal and it illuminates the road in a good manner and provides you a sense of confidence while you are doing some night outs on the highway. No problems with the halogen unit, and there is no need of upgrading it to LED because in my opinion the halogens are better considering the Indian weather conditions. So the negative sides from the front, the styling sometimes seems to be overdone and it may cause some pain while you are doing the cleaning because of these areas, the creases. It is very prone to attract dust and very hard to clean. This is something which you can ignore because it is not causing any functionality issue, but yes, definitely it will take a lot of effort from your side to clean this beauty up. Now let's talk about the panels of this car. The panels are not that great. I will not say that this is the best of the lot. The panel quality is not that good. These panels are light in weight, and that doesn't translate into the safety aspect. You cannot judge the safety of any car by touching its panels. So panel is just the out styling of the car, but yes, these panels are prone to get dents and scratches easily. Now let's talk about the paint finish of this car. The paint finish is good. I do not have any complaints with the paint finish of this vehicle. There are no orange peel effect anywhere. There are no decoloration, no color mismatch, so no complaint. The thickness of the paint is not good and it is prone to get chipped off very easily. The clear coat on the car is of good quality and provides a good amount of shine. Even it doesn't require any wax to get a good amount of shine from this vehicle. It's just a microfiber and a water will do the job. Now let's talk about some other positive of this car. The first and the foremost is the ground clearance. The 200 mm of ground clearance is good for city as well as for the rough road conditions. Now let's talk about the tire sections of this car. Although this car is equipped with 195/60 R16 tires, that is 16-inch rim, 195 broad and 60 aspect ratio. So what my opinion is that this is the boon and bane both for this car. If we talk about the boon side, or the good part of this, is that the wider section provides a good grip on the car, on the highways or in the city. It provides good grip. It provides a decent comfort level. However, if we talk about the afflictions, I think with this heavy motor, with just 3 cylinders and producing nearly 72 bhp of power and 96 Newton meter of torque, I think this wider section is eating up the power, and Renault could have provided 15-inch rim instead of 16-inch. But I will not doubt Renault engineers, they must have thought of everything before putting these set of wheels to this car. So this is something you can live with. Looking at the tire condition after buying around 26,000 kilometers, I think the car will be a pocket-friendly one because the tire condition is there is still good life which is present with these tires, and it may last up to I think 60,000 kilometers. So no complaints on this area. Now let's just talk about the suspension setup. The car is equipped with McPherson strips at the front, and Renault is always known for its suspension setups, and in this car as well, I do not have any complaints regarding the suspension quality or the ride quality, and these suspensions keeps a good level of comfort inside the cabin, and you will not feel any undulations or unwanted pulls or rumbles inside the cabin due to the suspension. These are not on the harder or the stiffer side, neither they are too cushiony to keep you bouncing at the back. So this is a fairly decent setup provided in this car, and I do not have any complaint. Since we have covered most of the exterior part, let's get inside and check out how the cabin is and what my opinion is. The door opening is quite good. Foremost thing is the seat quality. Although the seat looks quite small, but for medium stature people, this seat will do its duty in a good manner. It will keep your comfort level good, and the side bolstering provided on these seats will keep you in place even when you are encountering those on the ghats or if you are just having some fun around the city. The thigh support and 8-way adjust will surely provide you right positions and the commanding position that you're looking for. So no complaint with the seat, although it could have been a slightly bigger in size. The footwell area is quite large, but the pedal placements are quite close, so that is something you need to get familiar with, and it will take around couple of days to get familiar with the controls. When you step inside this car, interiors, I must say that these are very welcoming and I do not have any complaints. Any areas where I can pick out any or where I can do some nitpicking. The layout of the dashboard is simple and typically depicts the European signature that is present in the European car. So that same level of subtleness is provided in this car. No extra element, no extra design element which will fade away from your eyes over the years. Just like Hyundais have so many design elements that eventually it gets fade out of your eyes. But with this car, I think the interior will last long, because it doesn't have any such design elements. So everything is well laid out. The cabin looks very premium, very upmarket. However, if we talk about quality of these plastics, these are not that great, and you may assume that it will start to squeak and rattle after some time, and it has started, although in my case. Now the car is not the perfect one in this segment and does have some ergonomic issues, like this seat belt buckle is something which you need to get addicted to or habitual of, because this is something which is obstructed by this bigger console over here and the armrest. Hence it may cause some issue in the initial couple of days when you wear this car. Overall, the USP of this vehicle is the space management. Renault did a phenomenal job with the space management, and that is something which attracted me towards this vehicle, and considering this while I was out in the market to get myself a new toy. So considering the price point of this vehicle, when I bought it, it was around 9 lakh with all the accessories, the alloy wheels which are not present in this RXT variant. So it was a fairly good deal at that moment of time. Now let's talk about the negatives of this. One of the negative is this door lock unlock button and the switch quality. It is not amongst the best, although these are pleasing to the eyes, and as long as they are doing its duty, I do not have any complaints with it. But yes, it could be slightly better. You can hear the excessive play in the controls, you can see. But this is something which I can call is consider it as a nitpicking over here. Well, I do not have any complaint as long as they are working fine. Now let's jump to the back seat, because that is one of the parameter for me, which I always consider as a crucial aspect in any car. So talking about the rear space is too good. I think it is one of the best rear space you will find in any car of this price segment. You will have ample of legroom, and the rear benches will not going to complain you about any space crunch, and this car may provide a good level of comfort. The thigh support is decent, the footwell are fairly huge, and there is no transmission tunnel, and it's almost a flat space out here. With the armrest and the rear headrest, the levels are slightly on the upside. So in my opinion, this car will easily let you to do 300 or 400 kilometers of road trip. Even if you are sitting in the back seat, you will not find any areas which may cause discomfort to you. The only downside is that for some people, this cabin may be claustrophobic from the rear side because of the smaller window section. The light is not that much, but that is again a good part as well, because it will restrict the entrance of the sunlight, keeps the cabin cool, and let the AC do its duty in a good manner. So as such, there are no issues at the back side. Now another USP of this car is, although it looks like a hatchback and a sub 4 meter, but it comes with a fairly decent boot space, which is 405 liter and can accommodate good level of luggage. So after adjusting the seat, you will find a commanding positions, and you won't have any complaints regarding to the visibility of this car. The visibility is quite good, and the big ORVMs are good to provide you a good vision of the back and enhances your confidence. The only downside if you talk about these ORVM, the only downside is that during rainy weather, it tends to get foggy from this area, and we do not have any defogger vent out here to defrost this area, and it may cause some hindrances to your eyes, and you won't be able to see at the back. So this is something where Renault can provide some ventilations or the defrost ventilations over here or somewhere else. But this is something which may compromise the safety level of this car. Now let's talk about the most crucial parameter, that is the engine and the behavior of this vehicle on the road. So let me start it up. So during the initial crank you will feel some vibrations, and as the engine starts to rotate at around 1500 rpms in the initial stage until it gets warm and coming to the natural or the optimum temperature, it takes a bit. So till then you will find and you will feel some vibrations on the steering wheel and the pedals. And since this is an AMT unit, so you won't find any direct linkage with the engine, hence you will not get any vibrations on the gear lever. Now as soon as the engine settles to its normal working idling RPM, that is 1000 RPM, so the vibrations tends to fade away. You will no longer feel the vibrations. Now I will share my driving review of what are the good sides and the bad sides of this AMT equipped vehicle. So when you move it to D, the initial, what I feel is that the initial roll is not that great, what you can expect from a car, but it's because of the AMT unit, which very gradually releases the clutch, and you will not find that this is something which will not put a smile on your face when you start rolling up this car. And the initial 2 gear of this car is just like this. You have to bear with that. The 3-cylinder motor and the cabin insulation is something which may cause trouble to your ear, and the engine is quite audible inside the cabin, and you can feel that it's screaming and a lot of stress to move this vehicle. So initial torque is something is lacking and evident while you started to drive this car. And this is something which is very limited to the first initial 2 gears only. So for city driving, you may feel that the car is slightly under par. It will take some time to get you moving while in the city. However, as soon as you hit the highway, the engine tends to behave completely otherwise. The engine tends to get silent. You won't feel any vibrations or loud noises coming out of the engine while you are doing a good cruising speed above 60 or 80 kilometers per hour, or even in the 3 digits speed. The engine will not scream much. And thanks to the good music system that the Renault has provided in this vehicle, it is a Ergonomic system which produces a decent level of sound quality, and I will give it a good thumbs up. The stereo rendering, the voice quality and the sound quality, the 3D effects are amazing, and these are too good for this car. This is something which will cover up the screaming or the rattles coming out from the engine. Now let's just talk about other dynamics, driving dynamics. So first I will try to cover the steering part. This car is equipped with electronic or electrical power steering setup, which is too good. I think, in my opinion, I do not have any complaints with this. This is very light in the city conditions, and it's very linear with the speeds, as it tends to get harder if you start piling up some speed. It gets harder and provide you a decent level of confidence while you are doing 3 digits speed. Even in the city as well as the highway, the steering, I do not have any complaints. The self-centering feature of this steering is too good and requires a less effort from the driver's side and will not cause any fatigue to your arms, even if you are doing good amount of kilometers. You can simply do long drives in this vehicle. So I think this is more of a highway vehicle rather than a city vehicle, because of its behavior, the safety feature, the 4-star safety rating, and the space provided in this car will really makes it a good choice for the highway run. Downside of this motor is that it's too loud, it's too noisy, it screams a lot, and sometimes, yes, it is under par if it comes to the acceleration side. However, you will not find any difficulty while you are tackling a good gradient, or if you are going around the corners on the ghats. You won't find this engine to be under par. I have tried it many times, several times I have tried it, even with 5 people on board. The engine doesn't feel to be under par in that sense, but yes, in terms of acceleration, this is something which can be improvised. Now talking about the maintenance part, the maintenance of the vehicle is very pocket friendly. It doesn't burn a hole in your pocket if you go for a regular oil change service. So usually during the first 3 services, the labor cost was free, and it costed me around 3000 rupees, including oil and all the essential filters change. So this is something I can call that it's a pocket friendly vehicle and will not burn a hole in your pocket in terms of servicing and spare parts. Now coming to the conclusion, who can consider buying this car? So I will say that this naturally aspirated engine equipped car is not something which you can compare with Nexon or any other vehicle in this segment, because they are costlier. They are almost 1 lakh or 1.5 lakh costlier than this. So this vehicle is meant for something who is going to buy you can say Wagoner or a car like a small hatchbacks, where they can get a great amount of safety, a 4-star safety rating, a decent space in the car, and a pocket-friendly maintenance package. However, if you are the person who quickly believes in changing the cars frequently, then this is not for you, because you cannot expect a good resale value of any of the European brands in Indian market. So far in these 26,000 kilometers, I never faced any of the problems with the vehicle. Renault service centers are quite good. They listen to you and they always tries to resolve your problem. The car comes with and Renault offers you 7 years of extended warranty on this vehicle, so you can be assured that the engine life is too good. This engine is used in many of the European cars as well, like Clio. So in terms of reliability, I do not find any of the negative areas which can translate that this engine is not reliable and cannot perform well. So no complaints in that aspect. Now let me just touch upon the main aspect of this car, which is the driving dynamics and the driving behavior. So whenever you put this AMT in the D, you won't find any jerks or anything else. So in that manner, it is behaving perfectly fine. But the initial role of this car is not that something which I appreciate the most, because it's slow. The clutch release is very gradual by this AMT unit, so it doesn't accelerate that fast. So this is the downside of this engine or the AMT unit per se. As long as driving dynamics are concerned, I do not have any complaints with this engine or this or the body or the steering unit or the suspension behavior. The car behaves very maturely. In fact, on the highway, I feel that the car is a level up from this segment, and it behaves and tackles 3 digits speed very maturely. It keeps planted, it grips up the road very well. And talking about the body roll is there, but it's not that evident, or it is not something which is a deal breaker. The only thing that I think, or I assume, the deal breaker is the initial roll of this vehicle. So that is something that I didn't like. But as long as you're flying on the road and you have gained a fairly good speed of 40 kilometers or 35, you can say if you crosses the initial lag of the vehicle starts to behave pretty well. And the VTVT of the engine, the variable valve timing of the engine, changes its nature, and the engine behaves fairly in a good manner and responds well. The power delivery of this engine is linear. It's not that you will not get a surge of power anywhere. So it's just like any other naturally aspirated petrol motor. It behaves very linearly, and as long as you keeps it boiling, it will provide you enough power to match up with your daily requirements. So again, this is not something very sporty or very fun to drive in nature, but yes, it does its duty fairly well. And talking about the mileage, it depends on your driving style. You can churn out a good average of mileage from this vehicle. In fact, I have churned out 26 km per liter as well, but that too in winter conditions. So in winters you can expect a good mileage, but if you switch on the AC, the mileage will tends to get low, and you can expect somewhere around 12 to 15 kilometers to a liter in city conditions. So on highways, if you are turning on the AC, you will get fairly something between 17 to 19 kilometers to a liter. So it totally and entirely depends on your driving style. So I will not comment much on the average part or the mileage part, because it depends on several other factors as well. Since we were talking about the air conditioning unit, this is the car, I can say that this is the only car where I can say that the AC didn't eat up the power, and you will not feel that when you switch on the AC, you will not feel that something has gone from your engine and there's a lack of power. So it keeps its behavior as it is, irrespective whether AC is switched on or off. But in some other vehicles I have seen and I have felt that whenever you switch on the AC, it eats up the power and makes you feel that this button is acting like a turbo switch or a nitrous. But that is not the case with this vehicle. It remains in the behavior stays normal. So if you're a person who is out in the market to get a new set of wheels for yourself, and if your budget is strictly limited to 7 or 8 lakhs, then you can go and consider its base variant, which I assume to be the most value for money variant, and comes below the price tag of 7 lakhs. So that is something you can consider. But Now to conclude and sum up this video, I can say that this naturally aspirated engine is not for the enthusiast who wants to do some quick acceleration, but yes, it performs its duty just like any other family car. So if you're a person who drives sedately, then you can go with this. Otherwise, if you're a person who is looking for a performance oriented car, you can consider the turbo variant, or you can go with any other vehicle out in the market. So I think this will clarify all your doubt. I do not have any problem with this vehicle. However, sometimes I feel that a slightly more powerful engine can make it best lot in the market. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any comments or if you have any concerns related to this vehicle, please feel free to pour in your comments. I will definitely revert you back as soon as possible. Thank you guys. Thank you for your support. Have a great day. Bye.